Oh, hold on. We're not gonna open the show the same way. We're live, Alex. Be live. Let me tell you something, Be live. You cut us off last week. You cut me with my guest off on Tuesday. We had a hard time on Wednesday. You ratchet ass mofos at Be Live. Let it be known on the second day of August, Marc Cordon is done with you. I'm letting the contract run out. I'm going over to Ecamm Live, you sucker MCs, and I'm taking all my people with me. You do not cut off Alex Agresta on the 60th episode of The Golden Mic. And with that said, it is episode 68 of The Golden Mic Live. We are officially done with Be Live TV. So this is the Be Live farewell party, Alex. This ratchet system. Now, this is the thing. I'm going to go through it. And right now, I was a 10 out of 10 in happiness before this show started. I'm like a 7 right now. And so you're going to have to bring my happiness up. My name is Marc Cordon. This is the dealio. It's not going to stop us because there's something that I've been doing for a long period of time in terms of working through my purpose and not feeling like I could ever get a paycheck from it. This is why Alex is here today. And this is why when Be Live gets all screwed up, we're not going to stop from talking to each other. This is a message that I think needs to go out to a lot of people who feel like when you're living in your purpose, but you're not getting a return. This is why Alex is here. Alex Agresta, executive purpose coach, is here to talk about turning your purpose into profit today, turning it into impact. So stick around for the full day. It is our last day on Be Live TV. I want to thank you guys on Be Live who are watching because you gave me a good run, but I'm taking the show to the next level and we're done with you guys. Alex, I'm going to talk to you in a second. Let's forward this out to your friends and I'm going to forward it out to mine. We're going to get the show on the road. My name is Marc Cordon. I am the founder of the Make Money coaching program, but more importantly, I have high standards for my show. And more important than that, I'm a positive psychology coach, which means 2 things, y'all. Number 1, on this Thursday, are you feeling good? Like I said, I was feeling good when I started the first Be Live. We got cut off. Now I'm getting back to myself. I'm going back up to a 10 again. I'm feeling happy to be here with Alex. She's super grounded. She got me out of my wrestling rant. And number 2 is, how much do you feel like you're living in purpose today? Now, this is the thing, just like what Alex does, a positive psychologist does. If you're feeling good and living in your full purpose, baby, you don't need a positive psychology coach. Just live your freaking life. Do your business. Now, Alex, I need to ask you this. On this day, on this second day of August, and on this last day of us being on Be Live, are you feeling good and living your life in your full purpose?
That's a wonderful question. And 2, yes, I am. I call it the fulfillment flow. I always just have fulfillment flow over me. And I realize it's because even if I have bad days or hard days, it's because I'm so clear on my purpose and I carry that out in all of my decisions, my thoughts, my actions, my dreams. So life is freaking amazing.
I absolutely love it. Melanie, you are the only one in here with in this room with us today. Who else is in here in the room with us? Rosaa Morales, I see you. We see you. Send this video out because we're having those technical difficulties like you probably would when Mercury is in retrograde and Be Live is in full spin. So share this video out because Alex has a message today. Now, here's the other thing, y'all. A lot of people think positive psychology or living in your purpose is all about the shits and giggles 24/7, Taco Tuesday every day. It's raining Skittles. We wake up and we're never sad, right? Right? Is that how you wake up? With Skittles falling in your mouth, Agresta?
All day, every day.
But that's the thing. Things go wrong. Be lives go wrong. Things happen in our lives. And it's all about the ups and downs and all arounds of life. Positive psychology isn't being 24/7 happy. If you're 24/7 happy, you're either a psychopath or you're dead.
That's great.
Now, the thing is that if you yesterday were happy and today you're like, you know what, Cordon, you know what, Alex, wow, today I'm just not feeling it. I'm feeling out of place today. That's okay. And here's another thing. If you've been working like in the same job or been in a relationship that's been fulfilling for you, and now all of a sudden you're saying, you know what, there's got to be something more to life than this. I feel so out of whack with my purpose and I don't know what to do. I feel shame, right?
Yeah.
That's all right too. Your heart is beating just like everybody else. Let us know that you're living your life. It's a part of your story. Give us the thumbs up because we're there with you. This is going to be part of your TEDx. This is going to be part of your book. This is all part of the ups and downs, right? Right, Agresta? Agresta, I'm feeling good now that I'm talking to you. I'm feeling really good.
I know. I'm seeing you're back.
Now, Jorge, you're going to follow us over. This is the best show. And it's because of people like you, Jorge, who make it like this. Follow us over to Ecamm Live. That's right. Be Live is gone. Ecamm Live is the place to be. Jorge saying hi to Mark. And on the last day, Jorge, I don't need to call you out, also saying hi to Alex. Now I'm getting a little bit jealous because you gave Alex a red heart and you gave me no heart. And then Alex, you're like leaning into him. Like, I see this like, yes, I see this going on, guys. So this is the last thing. This is the last thing. No matter where you guys are at right now, if you're living up, if you're living down, if you don't know where things are at right now and it feels like it's spinning, if you feel like tomorrow is going to be a better day than today, if you feel optimistic about your future, that is the difference maker. That is the difference maker to live in your life. That's my golden mic, people, living your life optimistically. Now, if you're living your life optimistically, Agresta, there is another button down there. And people who are watching, you've been watching me do this for 68 episodes now. That button is this. If you're feeling optimistic about tomorrow, Agresta, give us a big old wow face. I knew it. And this is the thing. I get the green heart. Thank you, Jorge. Jorge, it has been a wild ride with you, son. So good to see you here. Now, with all of that said and going into the idea of living your life with purpose to impact and profit, I want to talk about that in a second. But Agresta, I want to know, what's your story? What's your story?
Man, what a beautiful question. So, I really believe that I manifested this life that I live. I really feel like what I do is my calling. And I all the things and the hardships and the highs and the lows, like I really believe that I was really meant to experience all these things to get me to where I'm at. So my story is really just, I believe I'm just this reflection of such meaningful truth in this world. And I feel so lucky that I get to share this message on behalf of me and share my story and on behalf of the world and everyone. Like, this is just such an important message. So that's really where it starts. I really believe that I manifested this. But my story, man, I became an entrepreneur in college. I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm not working my way up anybody else's ladder, but my own damn ladder. So I decided to build my own. So I became an entrepreneur in college. And that's when I realized, like, wow, we can live really meaningful lives and carry out our purpose, and we can make money, and we don't have to be shameful about it. So I love this blend in between purpose and profit, because it's okay to make money. It's okay to make a hell of a lot of money, as long as you're doing it with that impact and that vision in mind and you have pure intention. So I just really became infatuated with meaning and fulfillment and purpose and using business as a force for good. Like, that was a theme the day that I got started with my business. It just was the foundation of who I wanted to be as an entrepreneur. So really, it just started spiraling upward, and I started doing my thing and putting myself out there, putting my truth out there. I started my journey in Orlando, Florida, for entrepreneurship, and just started talking and speaking my truth and mentoring and coaching. And how I got into coaching was just a really beautiful organic progression of all the things I was doing. Like, I love being a reflection of truth for people, just like you are. You're a reflection of people's truth, and we get to show people what's special about them, and then they get to just frickin' like skyrocket to the damn moon. So that's just fulfilling, and that's how I became a coach. It was just natural and organic, and then the purpose, it was just this, the manifestation of all the actions I was doing, it just kind of whirlwind into this beautiful thing that I now call Purpose Pioneers.
Now, when you talk about speaking truth, like speaking your truth, was there a time that you felt like you weren't speaking your truth?
Definitely, yeah. So I would say my low point was in college when I was 19. I always knew I wanted to be someone and I wanted to do really big things, but I was getting caught up in not a bad group of friends. It wasn't like the bad kids, but I was just not doing the things that I knew I wanted to do. I was partying a lot. I was just at the will of all my friends and having FOMO and all that kind of stuff in college. And for sure, like I wasn't speaking my truth. Like I was letting myself be controlled by other people's truth. And I realized how important it is to really say what's on my mind in a way that's empathetic to others and not pushy and not projecting. But so that's when I really started working on my communication skills internally and externally. But yeah, I didn't speak my truth. I mean, I've always spoke my truth in a way, but there was definitely a time where I wasn't, and I wasn't aligned. And I was like, this has got to stop.
So, but even during like all the FOMO stuff, even during the college stuff, and I mean, our colleges and I mean colleges in general, there's a lot of FOMO going on. But like when you're talking about large systems here in Florida, right? You're talking about big time like cultures where you feel like you're missing out and all that good stuff, right? Or it's like be there, be square type of stuff, right? Even when you were in the middle of doing those things, was there still a part of you that was just like, oh, this is not the real Alex. This is not the real Alex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I was like, this is a psychology term, cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
I was like, that was living two worlds here. So yeah, totally. That's the misalignment that I say. Like, I knew who I wanted to be and I knew what I was capable of, but I was choosing decisions that were not aligned with that. So I was like, this is not Alex.
Yeah, and I think Alex, so many of us do that. I remember, I mean, not only in college, but I remember in high school and even now as an entrepreneur, there's a certain keeping up with the Joneses type of thing that I feel like is always happening. And if I don't do some of these things, then I'm not a real coach, or I'm not a real this, or I'm not going to be showing up, and so like, why is it that that's so like pervasive? Because it's like it feels so much easier to live in what like you're calling the truth, but so many of us live in cognitive dissonance. Why do you think that's such a big?
I know. I think it's just our culture. It's not promoting high levels of self-awareness. Like the second that I see people start to step into self-awareness and really understand what's going on emotionally, physically around them, then they start to be in control of their life. So I think it's really like, I'm passionate about helping company cultures, but I want to move into different cultures, school cultures, local communities, government structures. Like, I believe it's a culture challenge. And that's really where, if we build these systems that really foster self-awareness, fulfillment, purpose, being at the will of our own truth, then I think we'll see all these individuals start to thrive as a whole.
I think that, dude, I think that makes so much sense, right? Because there's, I think whatever system you're thinking about, there's a construct of the status quo.
Yes.
Right. And once that construct of the status quo is set, the status quo can either be something that you find yourself in the middle of settling for. You're like, shit, this isn't me, but I'm just doing it because everybody else in here is doing it. Or you see yourself striving like, oh my gosh, like I'm working so hard to just keep up with the status quo. And I have like I have no purpose in this. Like, I'm just doing something for something else's sake, and that's where a lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm working for the machine. I'm working for this, right?
You're spot on. Yeah. I mean, and the number one principle of living in your purpose is being at the will of your own truth. Like you cannot care what other people are doing and focusing on them, because people start to search externally for that internal fulfillment. And that is massive misalignment. So that's the core principle.
Now you're using a I think the word here that gave me the heebie-jeebies, right, was when you said being at the will
Yeah.
of your own truth. There's a certain like surrendering or submitting that
Yeah.
I'm hearing there when you're like, you got to be at the will of it, you know, like so talk to me a little bit more of being at the will of your own truth.
Ooh, I love that. I've never really broke this down. How about so yeah, like being at the will of your own truth is like, to me, it's like that yeah. So why that word is important, because it's, you have to commit to being in your truth. Like you can't just be talking about things and then not tie action to it and really embody it. So I think being at the will is like gracefully embodying your truth and tying action to it and doing something about it, instead of just speaking truth and not doing anything about it, which is useless.
So then the assumption here is that truth has always been something that's internal to each of us.
It's, yes, it's in there. So
Okay.
like I never say find your purpose, it's uncover your purpose, because it's already there. All these truths and all these incredible things that are inside of us, we got to unlock it like a freaking Care Bear and just like shine it at the Care Bear stare. That's what I call it. Like inside, and I know this to be true because of the work that I do, and I'm sure you see this too. It's like people, once they reach these levels of self-awareness and they go, oh my God, they have the light bulb moments, it's like they realize it's been there all along. They didn't go pluck it from the store and say, oh, I'm going to do this now. It's been there. It's like a little box. We just have to, it's a dusty little box. We just have to clean it up and open it and like let it shine.
I love that. I differentiate an aha moment versus a no shit moment, right? Because the aha moment is oftentimes when people are like, oh my God, this apple fell from like this huge tree and God threw it from a mountain. And like, here I am enlightened all of a sudden. Like there's gravity. Now that explains everything, right? And there's like this external thing to it, right? However, there's this no crap moment in which you're like, I've known this my entire life. I've known this my entire life, and I just ignored it. I ignored it the whole time, right? Now you are provoking Walter Aguilar up in Canada. Over there doesn't exist. That's true. He's talking about illusions. Being self-aware, acceptance, and making a conscious choice to act. I think we're all on the same page here, right?
Yeah, I love that wording.
Once you get Walter started, he can't stop. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm imagining you over there in Canada's singing that right now, Walter. Now I wanted to talk about this then. When you're talking about sort of uncovering versus discovering, you're talking about uncovering your purpose and sort of you know, that's gonna branch out to business, relationships, everything that you do. Now when you're working with folks in business and you're like, got to find that purpose or got to uncover that purpose, how do you help folks with uncovering that?
Yeah, awesome question. So the tangible is I have methodologies and frameworks that I take people through. I'm really big on, I call them mental models of just having, and you're totally well versed in this with what you do. It's like creating these mental models around purpose so people can understand it easily, because it's very lofty, it's pie in the sky. And it was really part of my mission to make it tangible so people get it and click. So we take people through these different frameworks and methodologies to really uncover on a deeper level. But really how we get there is asking questions. Like I say I'm a professional mirror. I just reflect truth back onto them. And then I'm a professional question asker. I just ask questions. I'm not there to project my truth onto anyone. I'm not there to put judgment or shame or anything. I am just there to be a reflection of who they told me they wanted to be. So another part of that too is really creating an environment where people can feel vulnerable and open. That's the first step of creating that space, putting those judgments and that self-critic aside and saying, hey, this is a safe place. It's going to get deep. And I want you to be able to express your emotions. If you want to be angry, mad, sad, you want to cry, you want to jump up and down, like express it, get it out, because it's so important to feel all those emotions as you're uncovering the purpose. It's a whirlwind, so it's very important.
Now, I think one of the interesting things here is not only are you talking about unlocking your purpose, but you're talking about unlocking it within systems that are sometimes pretty rigid, right?
Yeah.
Where the status quo is to not be vulnerable and not be open. And when you are vulnerable, it's almost like you know that you're going to be torn apart, right? Like by people at the water cooler and stuff like that. How do you actually move forward when talking to organizations and saying, some of my methodology is that people get vulnerable and open, or our business is moving in that direction where they know that vulnerability is part of the success process?
Yeah, so I think it's twofold. I think, yes, we are moving towards a structure and a culture and an economy where leaders are realizing it's okay to not know everything and it's okay to be
Yeah.
vulnerable. And shout out to Brene Brown. She is really pushing vulnerability in the workplace. So I think through her messaging and her movement, the vulnerability movement, that's been opening leaders' eyes. Like it's okay to not know everything. Like I go into meetings and coaching sessions and I don't know everything. Like that's the beauty of it. We get to learn
Yeah.
and grow together. So that's one. And then two, I work with small businesses, solopreneurs, and I really believe those structures are more open and fluid. So the ones, you know, the corporate structures, the large, massive enterprise companies, I do believe there are leaders in there that want to embrace this change and this purpose movement, but it's so rigid. Like you said, it's going to take some more legwork and time and more bandwidth and more purpose coaches. So I set my boundary to work with leaders that are open, willing, fluid, no ego. Like they're just ready to open their arms and say, I am down with this purpose. Like, let's do it. So I think that you're right, though. It's the structure shapes the leadership, and now we need to like reverse engineer it.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense, because you could do a lot of damage working with small businesses very fast, especially small businesses that when it comes to the challenge, the support, and they're at the readiness phase for that kind of coaching, and they just don't know necessarily how does this look like, or how can we engage in the change process, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a gamble for sure. I mean, as is any business decision, but I'm so passionate about giving small businesses structures and tools for them to become large companies if they want. Because I do think what's lacking in the small business world is that like strategy and purpose-driven structure. It's a lot of like guessing and like, I don't know, I think this is right. So I love giving these, because small businesses, they take up what, like 55% of the economy. Like,
Oh yeah,
small
right on.
yeah. And I want them to have the opportunity to create purpose-driven businesses, but in a way that allows them to grow and scale to become possibly a larger company. So
I love what you're saying about this. And also at the same time, I'm going back to like org development 101, right? And it's like, what are the things that folks are built on, right? Because you're talking a lot about structures right now, right? I'm also thinking about sort of folks are getting into the entrepreneurial space as sort of visionaries, right? But then there's also things like mission, vision, and then values, right? So how much do values come into that entire structure building piece?
Oh, it's the other half. It's purpose and values. So purpose is driving force. Purpose is the direction. And if we want to get a little bit into masculine, feminine energy, which I love talking about that, purpose is like very masculine energy. It's go out there, driving force, we're going to do this. And then the feminine energy is the boundaries, which are values. So it's like, hey, go out there, do this, but let's make sure we're aligned. Let's stay in our lane. So what I also love about purpose-driven business, which my business partner and I just discovered this like 2 days ago, purpose and values are this beautiful blend between masculine and feminine energy working together. And that is, to me, that is amazing, because I do sense a divide right now in some structures where it's either like, I need to be a man, or I need to walk on my tiptoes. I feel like I'm on eggshells because of all this divide around men and women. And purpose-driven business doesn't have that divide. It's this beautiful blend of we can embrace both together. So now female and male leaders are just crushing it together.
I absolutely love that, and I love the fact that you're bringing this into some more universal topics. Because like, if folks are like, "What she's talking about masculine, feminine energies," like I'm also thinking about just the normal contrast of life, right? You look at the Tao, right? You look at the yin yang, right? And it's just like there's contrast in everything. There's a balance to everything. There's a harmony to everything, and if you bring it too much in one way, then you're really going to have something that um, disrupts the creative energy of things,
Exactly.
right? So
Yeah.
if it's too much in a masculine form, it's disruptive. If it's too much in a feminine form, it's disrupted. And so you're
Exactly.
looking at a nice little balance of things. I'm wondering how do companies do you use masculine and feminine energies when you're talking to your companies?
So that's no, not really. That's we really we talk about a lot of spiritual stuff because
Sure.
business is spiritual. Tony Robbins said that and it really hit home for me. I was like, it is. Like we need to embrace what it means to be human. We are energetic beings. So to infuse that into business is empowering. But yeah, so in my messaging and like how I get people to be a part of this, I don't really talk too much about the energy, but once we're like in it and we're coaching and we're talking about purpose, we go down all these incredible rabbit holes, but it leads us to seeking higher truth. And yeah, we definitely do bring up energy because it's very important to at least be aware of that and understand the energetic side of business and the spiritual side as well.
I okay, so I'm lighting up right now because like you're talking about business as spiritual, and this whole time like I'm like, holy crap, Agresta has been speaking in encoded language this whole time. Like when you're talking about speaking in truth and manifestation, and now when you've straight up gone into the masculine and feminine energies, and sort of structures and borders and values, you really are going into business as spiritual. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, she's been hitting us over the head with the fact that business is spiritual. What was this something that hit you like a ton of bricks too, or has this always been something that you've been like, yeah, I've always seen it like that? Business has always been something that's spiritual.
I think I have. Like, I
Yeah.
think it was always there, but every day as I'm talking about these things with new people like you and with my business partner, it hits me like a ton of bricks every day. So I would
Mhm.
say just by me seeking higher truths and understanding things at a higher level, but respecting both, I call it spirit and form. So form is like the business structure and then spirit is that purpose side. So by respecting both, it allows me to just be mind blown every day. But yeah, I'm like super spiritual, and my dad taught me the laws of the universe and the secret when I was like 6. So this totally was a theme. And I
Holy
just am
crap.
so, yeah, it was, my
Yeah.
dad's dope. He's like, oh, you know, Oprah, the secret? I'm like, yes. And now I'm just like so obsessed with making this tangible. Spiritual sides and purpose and masculine and feminine doesn't have to be this like weird, like, ooh, I don't, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to talk about that. Like, let's just stick to our guns and do the status quo, right? Like, I love making this stuff tangible. So I'm always in this balance in between like structures, but spiritual, purpose, but business.
And what is funny is that for so many entrepreneurs, they've taken that spiritual leap that there is something larger for me in life out there than just doing the status quo 9 to 5 type of piece, and in going into their or working for somebody else and just coming home like empty. How amazing does it feel to wake up, the Skittles fall into your mouth like you were talking about, and then at the end of the day you're even more, I mean, you're tired, but you're even more full. To
Yep.
me that's living in spirit, right? It has nothing to do with religiosity, but there's a certain servantness to your business, right? A little secret out there, my business is called Greater Good. The reason it's called Greater Good is, what are we doing once we're empowered to go out and serve, right? And so there's a huge spiritual component to it. A lot of positive psychology even. I'm sorry, you're just unleashing the crack in here. I'll shut up in a second. But like a lot of positive psychology really is talking about spiritual, like the spiritual in a very non-secular way, so it doesn't turn people off. But I think a lot of people are ready for this now.
Yeah,
They're ready to talk about, when I started my business, I had so much vision, and now it's just been locked into making the bottom line and profits that I'm just become an administrative machine to myself now.
Yeah.
And I don't see who I serve anymore.
I have people come to me and they're like, I'm sick of making money. And what they mean is they need purpose to make money. Purposeful profits. There we go. Like, yeah. I literally have people, they're like, I just don't even want to focus on that anymore. So I think you're so spot on. Like, we are now, I believe, in the greatest time in modern history to not only run a business, but to get in touch with what made us human in the first place. We got a little crazy in the Industrial Revolution with all the machines and the structures and all that stuff. And yes, it did a lot of good, but mentally it messed us up. It messed our mental up. So now people are searching for this more than ever. Like, if this was 10 years ago, Purpose Pioneers would not be a thing. I feel lucky that I am living in this time and doing what I do literally on this very date, because now is the time.
So what made us human in the first place?
Oh, he went there. I don't know. I'm still exploring that. I'm so, like you said, I like to approach things from a non-secular view, like not getting religion involved, so we can all unite. So I'm not sure. I think it's a mix of some scientific things that happened, like literally how we came to be, mixed with our energy and spirit, mixed with like the universe. I don't know. I don't have a fully fleshed out answer, but I'm living in Denver and being in the mountains. So I went from Orlando to Denver. Being out in the mountains has really allowed me to get in touch with this side and keep understanding and exploring. So maybe in a couple months I'll have a fully fleshed out answer. But it's a mix of a bunch of things, but definitely energy. Like energy, I believe that is the currency of life.
Well, I would say that the biggest truth that you're speaking right now is that we don't fucking know. We don't know everything. Right? So to throw up your arms and be like, what the hell? Like, what do you think I am? Like, and to be like, I don't know, but in a couple months, I might know a little bit more. A little bit more is going to be revealed to me. I love that type of honesty, and especially because of the fact that I'm thinking about the business side of things, where like I've been in board meetings before, and they've straight up asked me like, blah, 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 blah. And I've seen people go, I don't know. And I'm like, you know what? Like, the board is probably really mad right now, but that is the most human answer ever. It's just be like, we don't. Yeah, mad respect, right? I don't know, and I'm still learning. I love the fact too that you're kind of turning this on full tilt, that some of the things with the Industrial Revolution, it served its place in terms of optimizing certain things, but then when you put certain things into cogs and boxes, and humans are turned into cogs and boxes, and then suddenly the next thing you know is that by 18 we're supposed to go to college, and then we're supposed to have a major, and then that major is supposed to turn into a very specific job, and that job is making cogs, and we make cogs until we're 75, and that's when we're happy and enjoy life. There's something to be revisited. Right?
Yeah, exactly. I always say, I'm like, why do I want to wait till I'm 70 to be happy and live life? I want to do it in my 20s.
Absolutely. In Denver, in the mountains, away from Florida, away from us crazy Floridians. So I
really quick, I want to just comment. I think the way you worded that was really beautiful. Like, humans are not meant to be put in a box. And that's the spirit. That's the spirit part of a human. It's meant to flow and experience and live. Like, I always say, like, do you want to merely exist, or do you want to live? Do you want to experience, like, what it feels like to be so mother effing fulfilled? I want everyone to experience that feeling. It's not even a feeling. It's a state of being. It just is. Mm-hmm. I believe humans are worthy. All humans are worthy of being fulfilled. And I mean, that's my purpose. That's why I wake up every damn day.
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's throw this in here. I want some more tidbits. I want tidbits. I want bite-sized tidbits here on our last day of Be Live. Unlike this purpose-driven business concepts and why it makes for meaningful, impactful business. So I would love some of those things. And Walt says, there is no box. Like a true Matrix pioneer. Walt has been living outside of the Matrix for a lot of years. So, Walt, it's always good to have you with us. But tidbits. Let's
okay, awesome. Tidbits.
Skittle-sized tidbits.
First Skittle-sized tidbit. It's all about systematizing purpose. And that right there, it's such a blend of its spirit and form, its business and purpose. It's creating a system around this thing that used to be so intangible and something that was so up in the sky. So what we do, like our thing, our niche, is systematizing purpose, creating systems and processes around purposeful living, purposeful leadership, and purpose-driven business. And what that is comprised of is many things. It starts with self-awareness. It all starts with the mind. So it's self-awareness tools. It's understanding how to respond instead of react. It's understanding how to communicate your truths in an effective way to get your message across. It's understanding the purpose pillars. This is another tidbit. Our purpose pillars are empathy, ownership, and vulnerability. How to harness those as a leader and use them as a tool to fuel your business in your own leadership. So that's where it starts with your mindset. And then the second is, this is big, it's decision making. Life is a series of decisions, so is running a business. We make 35,000 decisions a day. And I always ask people, I'm like, do you know how you make those decisions? And most of the time they go, I'm not really sure. Values, that's where the values come in. So the foundation of everything in purpose-driven business is a values-based, purpose-driven decision-making model. So we created that to empower people to know that they're always making the quote-unquote right decision. I like to say the aligned decision.
Mm-hmm.
So they're never looking back and going, oh, damn, why did I do that? Or that's not who I want to be. Or wait, I'm doing that because someone else told me to do that. So it's once again at the wheel of your own truth, your own purpose, your own values. So once we lay the foundation, then it's lots of fun business stuff, purpose-driven marketing, purpose-driven sales, which we call transformation activation. That's what we call sales, because you're activating positive. I figured you'd like that.
I do.
What's transformational content, how to speak in a way that has your purpose being like protruding from your freaking pores. And yeah, that's fun.
Well, what I love about, so much of what I love about this is so much about the individual movement nowadays has been about living inside out, right? And now you're actually taking that idea of living inside out to the organizational level. And so many organizations will talk about their values, but those are espoused values. They're not actually practiced. And so people inside of the organizations are like, what the hell, man? We tell everyone we do this and we take care of our employees and we don't. We're so burned out. But then when you actually start with that purpose and then move out to the values for the decision-making piece, I'm seeing something huge there. And I'm seeing the word freedom. I wrote that down. Like you're beginning to feel what you always thought you would want from entrepreneurship. Freedom. I saw a finger go up. Was that your middle finger or your first finger? Are you flicking me off right now? Because I'm not wearing my glasses, Agresta. You're number one, Cordon.
I say, just like freedom, I say liberation. After people go through my purpose program and they the number one thing is decision making. Everyone loves it because it's ultimate liberation. People get to make decisions that are meaningful to them, and it's what they want to do, not anybody else. So yeah, I would say the decision making tool and values, using them as boundaries, are they go like hotcakes in our program because people, they feel the liberation. They're like, wow, thank you for this because I can live life on my terms, nobody else's.
Yeah. Yeah. And isn't that what we always wanted when we were moving towards that business, starting that business, wanting to provide or to live that sort of liberated life, Amazing. Other tidbits, other Skittles. What do you got for us?
Ooh, okay. Let's see. So something that I've been doing a talk on lately is how to use your company's purpose to get people to say yes. So I talk about how to not talk about the normal stuff. Like if someone's like, what do you do? I like to say why I do what I do. I like to talk about what I believe in. So I've been really hot on teaching people these purpose-driven communication principles of taking people to the mountaintop. I love Martin Luther King Jr. I think he was one of the most incredible purpose-driven leaders of all time. It's because he painted the vision. So that's a great nugget, to literally paint the vision as if someone could see it in front of them and breathe it and live it. That's how you get people to buy. People don't give a shit that you have the coolest, bestest, fastest, cheapest products. They want to know that it makes them feel something. So I push people. I'm like, talk about what you believe in. Talk about your purpose. Talk about your story. People will buy from you once they feel that connection. And then they'll rationalize the features and benefits. Seriously, they will.
Well, I do love that, because in so many ways, when you talk about the features first, and then even the bonuses and the widgets that come with your things, right?
Yeah.
You're not talking about a purpose. And then for so many, like I work in the sales space of coaching, which is a mind piece, right? So many of my coaches, so many of my folks are like, I feel so salesy and sleazy doing this. Yeah. Well, it's because you're talking about what you do, not why you do, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Simon Sinek, you'd be proud right now, son. Brother Sinek. Brother Sinek, you'd be proud right now.
Can't wait to meet him. I'm manifesting that.
Well, and then I do love the fact that you use language to craft around these triggers that we all have had around this idea of, well, sales is, we're actually talking about transformational activation, people, right? Like when you think of it that way, it's like, oh, I can't wait to get on one of these transformational activation calls.
That's what my business partner said yesterday. He's like, Alex, this process is amazing. It's not sales. I am there to simply activate positive transformation for someone. So once again, we have all the tools inside of us to flip business principles on its head. We never have to feel salesy and sleazy ever again, because guess what? You never have to sell another day in your freaking life. All you have to do is talk about what you believe in, talk about why it matters to them, and talk about where you're going to take them. This was a status I put on my Facebook the other day. People don't care what you've done in the past. They don't care about your qualifications and your resume and your GPA. They don't care about that, even though they may think that they do. They care about where you're going to take them.
3.99. Just letting y'all know.
I always say take them to the mountaintop, just like MLK did. Take them there, and trust me, they will dish out their wallet many times. People want to know how you are going to frickin' transform their life. That is a sale.
Mama, not only what I love about what you're talking about right now, but like, you are white hot on fire right now. Are you feeling it? Like, are you feeling what's coming out of like?
I was channeling something just now.
You were just channeling something right now, which means that we need to have you back. And I love the fact that you started out with the word flow, because I feel like you and I got into flow.
Yeah,
dude, totally. Like literally, we were in flow. You know, if it wasn't okay. Now this is the thing, Walt. You know, I know that you're watching there, Walt. I see you. I see you, Kareem. Happy birthday. I see y'all that are watching right now. We did have our glitches today. We're about to drop the golden mic for the last time on Be Live TV. But more than everything else, you saw me fighting through the ups and downs. And Alex, I just knew it. She had something to say. And like the space was created. And Alex, I cannot be more grateful for interacting with you on a day like today. I am in the middle of a launch right now.
Yeah.
And I needed somebody to remind me that I'm not on sales calls. I'm in the business of activating positive transformation. Now, I can't wait for you to tell me what the hell my webinars are doing, because those things, I don't know what the hell those are, but there's something else that I'm going to need your coaching around there. But as activators of positive transformation, as an audience, I want y'all to share this one out. This was very special. This was a very special day. And for those of you who are in your own business, for those of you who are looking for liberation, for those of you who live in your purpose and are looking to make that impact, looking to make a profit from it, and know that it starts not with your whats and your widgets, it starts with your whys. Alex is the person to talk to. Now, Alex, you made some videos for us, Home Slice. What's going on these things?
Hells yes. I gave you that link. Please push that out. It's a free 5-day training series of Purpose to Profit. And it's pretty dope.
Well, so anytime anyone takes... Yeah.
What?
Go ahead. My bad.
Oh, sorry. It just broke up a little. Yeah. In that training, you'll learn all about how to make your purpose sustainable, impactful, and profitable. So check that out. It's there for you. I channel some purpose. It gets pretty epic, so it's fun.
More than you did today? Because you were just dropping pipe bombs today at the end. I was like, she's obviously not in Orlando anymore. Like, she's just dropping them. I think Walter feels the same way that a lot of us feel. Awesome energy, Alex. Activate. Active positive transformation. Great phrase. Amazing stuff. Alex, we're gonna have you back, okay? Do you come back to Orlando a lot?
I'm actually going to be in Orlando in November, so I would love to see together. We can maybe get lunch and just
then. Yeah, we'll see each other then. We'll make a live. We'll do something. We'll see my cousin, and we're just gonna have fun. But I think this is the biggest thing right now. This is why the show's called the Golden Mic Live, Alex. So I want you to imagine over there in Denver that, or not Denver, but in Colorado, that a golden mic is coming down from your ceiling right now, right? And this golden mic is coming to rest in front of you, Alex. Now, for 2 minutes, that golden mic translates into every single language all across the world.
Wow.
Alex Agresta, everyone is listening, and your golden mic is live now.
Oh, it cut out for a sec.
Okay, so we'll do it again. Where did it cut out?
It said that you said the golden mic came down, and then it cut out.
Be live, you sucker MCs. You cannot stop Alex and I. This golden mic is coming down from your ceiling, and it's stopping right in front of you, right? And for 2 minutes or less, this golden mic translates into every language all across the world, and the world is listening. So could you hear that, Alex? The world is listening. Yeah. So Alex Agresta, your golden mic is live now.
Oh man, I'm just on the mic?
You're on the mic to the world. What is it that you would tell the world?
What do I want to tell the world?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, what I would want to tell every person in the world is that I see you and I believe in you. I want to be that reflection of truth and that light for you. And I really believe that you are worthy of living one hell of a life and doing all the things that you want to do. And the sooner that you step into that, the sooner that you're going to be 100% fulfilled. So do the damn thing. Do the thing. Say yes. Book the date. Buy the ticket. That is my nugget to you. Do the thing. Because in action, and when we jump off the ledge, that is when we learn about ourselves, and that is when we become the person that we want to be. So jump off the ledge, my friends. And I'm at the bottom waiting for you with my hands open. That was my golden mic moment. Ooh, Alex, I like that.
I want you to hold that golden mic up like this. And for the last time on Be Live, I want you to drop that golden mic like a pipe bomb. Drop that golden mic aggressive. Everybody, I wanted to thank Be Live for being so good to me, but it's time to move on. It is over between us, Be Live. The golden mic is going to Ecamm. No more ratchety stuff here. I'm jumping off the ledge. This has been episode 68, Golden Mic Live, with your girl, Alex, and your boy, Marc Cordon. Now, this is the thing. It's a Thursday, which means we're doing this. We're turning off the golden mic so that we can do the real things. We can spend time with our family and our friends and our loved ones. I encourage you to do the same thing, because I'll be back on Tuesday with a new guest and we'll have some more fun with this. So my final question before I turn off the golden mic for this week, to everybody watching and to everybody who shared this out and watched the replay, is this: if you're feeling happy and you're living your life in its full purpose, what is your responsibility to change history for the better? This has been Golden Mike number 68. We're signing out, and this is my girl, Alex.